what I started to say. It's like when you're watching a show week to week, and you have all these
Mm,
crazy theories that happen throughout the week, and then just something like not that like the twist isn't like as big as you thought it was gonna be. That's
mm.
basically what the NFL is. It's like you have all week to
Yeah, pretty
discuss and
much.
analyze and say whatever you want, and then there's these experts that come in and they say whatever they want, and everyone just eats it like chalk, and then there we go, and now we're freaking picking the Giants against the number 1 seed who is
We
the
just have to
dominating
stop
team.
having hot takes.
Yeah. No, exactly. We just gotta be normal. And if you were normal, like if you pick the same people in the conference championships from the past 2 years, you'd be wrong on the Rams, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
And of course, that's the team I picked to win the
it really
Super
makes me
Bowl.
right, yeah. Like, I'm not even gonna pick any of these games anymore. Maybe I'll just fade myself for the rest of the games because I have been wrong, not on the season as a whole. I have been wrong on the season as a whole, but every single week,
Yeah. Yeah,
every
it's
week, I get it dead wrong.
this and, like, I just can't believe we bought into ourselves so quickly. But talking about the gameplay, the actual gameplay itself, that original the one I was talking about, the 4th and 8, the Dayball is basically just like, "Look, if we can't score touchdowns, we're not gonna win this game anyways.
Yeah,
Let's
right.
just go for it." And after that, I was like, "They have no confidence. I have no like, we're done."
Oh yeah.
And the Eagles just they coulda had a perfect game if they wanted to, it felt like.
Well, at 14-0, I was still like, okay, maybe. Like if they go down and they score here,
No.
then they didn't, and I was like, all right, that's probably
Yeah.
it. And obviously it was.
It was a
Eagles look
bloodbath.
great.
No, and
They didn't need Hurts to be amazing. Apparently he's still not 100%. Didn't he say that?
no, and he doesn't
Like nowhere
he
near
didn't pass
100%.
like he was 100%,
Yeah.
but he played just well enough. He played not like he's not hurt, like not hurt enough that he can't get the job done clearly. But I thought that was just going to be a much bigger factor than it was, and it wasn't.
Yeah, no. But
And
that was a game where it's just like literally imposing your will
mhm.
every aspect of the game. Like this team at every position group is better
And what
than
I
whoever the
hate is
Giants have.
now because of all the hype of the Giants, the Eagles fans are like, "Oh, we're basically underdogs." It's like, dude, shut up. Just because everyone picked the Giants does not mean you're underdogs whatsoever. And we're
The
I'm
Philly
scared.
people I know, like Philly Twitter, I didn't see anything about like, oh, like we're nervous about the Giants. Like everybody was
No,
like, we're
everyone was
gonna roll the
confident.
Giants.
Yeah,
After the game, they were like, yeah, this was
told you.
they didn't even deserve to be on the field with us, which is true.
No, they didn't. And the coach, like, say all you want about like the coach giving like the smarks, like his like head nods on the sidelines and like all that crap.
That was
It's
the
like
funniest thing
I thought it was
I've seen
funny
all
too. Like the
season.
guy was just having fun out there. I thought it was
Huh?
like, and people were like, "Oh, like this is like typical like Eagles, Philly," and it's like he's just having fun winning. Like,
But
sorry
he's
you're
such a
winning.
dork.
He is a
Like you can't
dork.
even. It's not even. It's not normal Philly. Like he's just a weirdo. He acts like a kid, and at this, like at first, like when he first got hired, and there was stuff, I was like, "What is
Remember
this
he was
guy's
doing
deal?
rock
Like,
paper
does he
scissors
know?"
at the combine to people to show competitive, like to
Yeah,
find out competitiveness of the draft
yeah.
picks, and it's like that type of stuff, and it's like, well, it's working. Like it's
Right. If
it's
it's working, it
working.
doesn't matter. He probably knows that. He probably knows that he can act however he wants when they're winning.
Yeah,
If they are like when they
yeah,
went to the Colts, and he was like screaming at the fans and stuff,
yeah. It's like they still
out
won the
doing the head
game.
nod. And
Yeah,
I think we rewound and watched that like 3 times.
the head
That was
nod.
the hardest I'd laughed at like non-comedy show maybe in my life. Then did you see the other clip where he like ran up when it was already like 28-0 or 27-0? It looked like they were gonna go for two
Yeah. And wait,
and
what was
try
the
to
clip
draw it
again?
off sides. Sirianni like runs up the sideline and he's to the ref. He's like, "I know what the f I'm doing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm allowed to be
yeah,
up here."
yeah. I remember that. Yes, that was funny too. It's funny though. I'm excited that they're going against the Niners. Like I think that's what deserved to happen throughout the season, and it's almost like like if you look at the nerd side of football, like the analytics side, it's like a dream come true for them. It's like offensive line versus defensive line,
Mm.
and it's like the best defense versus best offense. And I think it's gonna be a good game. I don't think it's gonna be like this, and I'm excited for next week.
It's gonna be the only good NFC football game that we've had all year. In terms of like top teams playing each other. Because
Yeah.
there were no top teams.
No. No, and now they finally have come together where
Yeah.
I feel like it's
So
deserved.
it really like, and sometimes like we were saying earlier that twists aren't that crazy. Sometimes that's what you need.
Mhm.
Like last year in the NCAA tournament, you had Duke, Carolina, and Kansas Villanova, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Sometimes the
fine to be
best teams
chalk.
just got to make it in. And I feel like that's what we got, especially after our next fluke of a game, which was double downing on our Buffalo Bill take. And
Frauds. Josh Allen is a fraud. I should have rolled with that take. I would have looked like a genius.
I know.
Instead, I got duped.
We were all like coming to this, we should have been all over it. We should have been all over the Bengals. Just knowing like what we've been
Yeah.
saying about the Bills all year, that we were like, "Oh, they don't look like a juggernaut. They don't look like a juggernaut. How are they supposed to like be the Super Bowl favorites?" And then they come and we're like, "Oh, let's pick the Bengals over them." Like, we're so stupid. Doesn't make any
But
sense.
it's the line. Like the 5.5 changed everything.
No.
If they were 2-point favorites, I probably would have taken the Bengals.
Yeah, that's true.
The 5.5, I was like, something has got to be up here.
And I thought their defense would I thought like the offensive line would be such a big problem. It wasn't a problem
Yeah.
at all.
They would get sacked like 8 times. It literally didn't matter.
No, and it was also snowing. I was like, this is great. This is what the Buffalo Bills are all about. They look like they've never seen snow in their life. They look like they had no idea how to play in snow. I mean, this was a pitiful performance. Pitiful.
Yeah, this is a game that makes you depressed for weeks as a fan.
Like they scored 10 points.
Yeah.
That it just like someone was like, "Oh, another Bills heartbreak." I was like, "This isn't heartbreak. This is an ass whooping."
It was an ass whooping from start to finish.
Yeah, they never
Bills
they
had
never
one
came
good
close.
drive the whole freaking game.
Mhm.
The Bengals, like, I wonder what the time possession numbers were, because it felt like every time they had the ball, even when they weren't scoring, they were just eating clock and moving the ball.
No, time of possession, 33 minutes for the Bengals, 26 for the Bills. So it
Okay,
wasn't
that's
even
not
that
as crazy
bad.
I thought it would be.
Yeah. It felt like the Bills never had the ball, and it felt like every time they were, it was third down and Josh Allen didn't know who to throw it to.
Yep.
And then like sometimes he would run and get the first down, and sometimes he would just eat a sack. It was like, Josh, if you got to like you got to be the man, Josh.
Hmm.
And
It was his lowest quarterback rating since they had that game against the Jets where he threw 2 picks and they lost. 68.1.
they also
It's poopy.
like we knew they couldn't run the ball all season, and I didn't think it would matter in the snow, because I thought like, oh, Buffalo snow, like this is what they're all about. The team just cannot. It looked like they should have been in a dome.
Yeah. And it is funny because, like, if you ask them and their fans, like, what are your perfect conditions to play a home game, they'd be, oh, we want it to be cold and snowy.
We want it to be
It's who we are.
snowing. Yeah, it's who we want. Yeah. And they weren't tough enough. This was a soft Buffalo team, and they got bullied by backup offensive linemen.
We talked for a long time about how bad this offensive line was.
And it just didn't matter.
You're right. It literally did not matter at all. Bengals, like, they're perfect.
They are. And we were saying they were at the right time. They were peaking, and all these good things about them. And the other all right. It's the issue is that we couldn't see how they played in the DeMar Hamlin game. Like they probably would have whooped their ass in the DeMar Hamlin game. And then we would have been like, oh, in the rematch, oh, they're just going to do the same thing. Because they picked apart the defense. And Joe Burrow just diced him up. I think he's at when we do the quarterback rankings, he's going to be top 3. And I don't think he's 3.
Well, I think he's the best in the playoffs right now with the Mahomes injury.
Yes.
I think that game was like I'm not the conversation with Allen and Mahomes anymore.
No, I'm
I'm
better
ahead
than
of
him.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
yeah.
Mahomes, but I am better than Josh Allen. That was
No.
what this game showed.
It was the conversation's not Allen and Mahomes, it's Allen and Burrow. Or no, it's Burrow and Mahomes. Sorry.
Yeah, right. And then Allen.
Yeah, and then Allen's under him.
It's in like with Lamar and Hurts.
Mhm.
You've been downgraded. Hurry, get out of here. What she keeps thinking I'm saying.
Siri?
Yeah, it keeps popping up on my laptop.
Siri pops up my brother's freaking Apple Watch like every time I'm hanging out with him. Siri's popping up all the time. Luckily,
Or disable her.
my Siri doesn't ever. I've never